Movie recap: The Forgotten Crown. Long ago, in a world where the stars sang and the rivers whispered secrets to the trees, there was a kingdom known as Kelthorn. Its people thrived under the light of a celestial artifact called the Eclipse Crown, said to have been forged from a fragment of a fallen star. The crown granted its bearer unmatched wisdom and power, but it came with a warning. The light it gives is borrowed, and the cost is steep. For centuries, Kelthorn's rulers flourished, until one night the crown's light dimmed and the kingdom fell into ruin. 1,000 years later, Kelthorn is little more than a fable, its ruins hidden deep in the mists of an endless forest called the Evershade. The story begins with Erin Valawin, a wandering scholar who has spent her life chasing fragments of forgotten history. Erin's journey takes a strange turn when she uncovers an ancient map etched into the bark of a dying tree, pointing the way to the lost kingdom. The map, however, is more than it seems. Its lines shift when unobserved, and the air around it hums faintly with an otherworldly tune. Erin's path leads her into the Evershade, where the forest seems to bend and twist as though alive. The deeper she ventures, the more she feels the weight of unseen eyes upon her. She is joined by a reluctant companion, Callan Thorne, a rogue with a mysterious past who claims to have no interest in legends but carries a blade engraved with symbols that match those on the map. Together, they navigate the Evershade's treacherous paths, encountering creatures that seem pulled from dreams and nightmares. A flock of luminous moths that guide them to safety, and a shadowy figure in a silver mask that warns them to turn back. At the heart of the forest, they find the ruins of Kelthorn, its once grand towers now consumed by ivy and shadow. In the throne room, they discover the Eclipse Crown, resting upon a pedestal of blackened stone. The crown pulses faintly, its light barely visible, and whispers fill the air as they approach. Erin feels an irresistible pull toward it, but Callan is wary, his unease growing as the whispers grow louder. The crown, they learn, is alive, its power tied to the celestial beings who created it. The Eldrith, ancient guardians of balance between light and shadow. The crown's light was stolen from the heavens to grant mortals power, but it came at a cost. The Eldrith were weakened, their forms scattered across the realms. The whispers in the room belonged to them, pleading for the crown to be returned to its rightful place in the sky. As Erin wrestles with the decision, she begins to see visions of Kelthorn's final days. The crown's last bearer, King Arden, had used its power to stave off an invading darkness, but became consumed by its light, his soul burning away until only an empty husk remained. Erin realizes the same fate awaits her should she claim the crown. Meanwhile, Callan reveals that his ancestors were among those who betrayed the crown's oath, hiding it to harness its power for themselves, a guilt he has carried all his life. The climax occurs as the masked figure from the forest reappears, revealing themselves to be an avatar of the Eldrith, bound to ensure the crown's return. They demand Erin relinquish it, warning of the consequences should she fail. But another presence emerges, a shadowy entity born from the darkness the crown once held at bay, seeking to claim it for itself. In a desperate struggle, Erin must decide whether to use the crown's remaining light to destroy the shadow, knowing it will consume her, or return it to the heavens, risking that the shadow will escape to wreak havoc on the world. Erin chooses the latter, placing the crown on the pedestal, and with Callan's help, activates an ancient mechanism that lifts the artifact back into the sky. The movie ends with the crown restored to the heavens, its light once again illuminating the world. The Evershade begins to recede, and the Eldritha's whispers fade into silence. Erin and Callan, forever changed, part ways, Erin to chronicle the tale, and Callan to seek redemption for his family's past. As the stars shine brighter than ever, the final line appears. Some lights are too great to keep and too precious to lose.